Hey guys, Blaze Gamer here, back in another YouTube video, and today we're going to be talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 5 titled Truth. So let's jump straight into it. So the beginning of the episode is Bucky and Sam trying to take the shield from US Agent. It's a great scene, really well shot, really well choreographed. It's just a great scene also of Bucky almost passing the shield to Sam, acknowledging that he's going to be the next Captain America. So it's a really great scene, a really great opening scene. To get you hooked in, and this episode was definitely the strongest episode so far. It was, it was amazing. It had some really great, realistic, grounded themes, and the sort of perspectives. So the performances, as I say, were top notch. Wyatt Russell, Anthony Mackie, there was some. Those guys were definitely the highlights of the episode. As I say, just what they did with John Walker's character arc in this episode too, of him dealing with the consequences of doing what he did, and the government ultimately excuse me guys, that bonk it, discharges him of being Captain America. And yeah, his reaction is he's just kind of confused. I've done everything right my entire life. I've done everything you ever told me to, and now I do this one thing. Now I avenge my friend. You leave me. So he's very pissed off. But he does tell Lamar's parents what happened, and it was interesting because they sided with him. I thought that was a really realistic take on it. It was like, well, yeah, you would at the end of the day if someone did kill your son, but he was avenged and someone got payback, you would kind of be like, yeah, well, fair play, you know what I mean? Especially with being Captain America and the way, the world sees him now, which is why it was so powerful and why the government thought, no, you can't be Captain America anymore. But the way John Walker's character reacted, I thought was really realistic and really good. And just yeah, there's a lot of scenes in this episode. A great scene with Isaiah Bradley's Captain America, and we learn more about the history, about the way he was treated when he was Captain America. There's a great scene with Sam Wilson where he goes to Isaiah Bradley's house with the shield, and he just talks to him. He's like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be Captain America. Well, he never says it to him, but it's kind of like that incentive where he needs that bit of motivation. And then the scene is amazing because, again, as I say, we learn that, when Isaiah Bradley was doing these incredible things as Captain America, he was in prison for 30 years and experimented on. And all his records were deleted. All the things that he did were wiped from existence, and the government didn't want a black Captain America. And that was a really interesting, really sort of, not dark almost, but just not really something you really see in superhero films. It was really interesting. They explored all these rich themes with diversity, and diversity sort of in general. Like, how many black presidents have there been? How many black prime ministers and mayors? You know what I mean? Like, there's not really much diversity in politics. You know what I mean? It's mainly just a bunch of white people. You look on TV. Do you see many? I know I'm not trying to bring up a debate, but do you see many black politicians? No. And this episode really touched on that, like having a diverse, like, political figure. You know what I mean? Like, it was really powerful. It was a great scene, and it was great for the character Sam Wilson because it just proved why he really deserves the mantle of Captain America, and the values and just the decisions that he's made in this season really proves why Sam Wilson is a great Captain America. And I loved just the kind of personal level we saw of Sam Wilson this episode with his family and repairing his boat, and really seeing this other side where he's not just a member of the Avengers. He's not Captain America's best friend. He's not just destroying the flag smashers. He's also a family man, and we saw that obviously in previous episodes, but this episode just brought it to light furthermore, and it was just awesome to see. It was really nice. We also get closure on Zemo's character. Zemo is sent to the raft by the Wakandans. Bucky gives him in. He tracks him down in Sokovia. So we get closure on that. So I'm sure we will see him again in possibly a Thunderbolts Disney Plus series, which I do think will happen. So I look forward to that. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think they'll do with Zemo. Do you think they will bring him back? Because he is going to be in the raft, which is a famous place in the comics, and also it's featured in Civil War. So it'll be cool to see what they do with him. Well, as I say, this episode, there's not too much flag smasher. Like, there's not really too many scenes with Carly Mongo's character or anything like that. But they didn't need to be. I think this episode really needed to focus on these really rich tones that they've sort of explored in previous episodes with, Isaiah Bradley and with John Walker. His mental state, like his his side, because again, as I say, it's very similar to Benjamin Poindexter's kind of character arc in Daredevil. This kind of good dude with good people around in his life, but he's just sort of shattered by his motivation. And it was just really interesting comparisons between those two characters. But as I say, this episode was really strong, guys. There wasn't too much action, because the only action scene we really saw was that awesome opening scene. But as I say, there didn't need to be. We also get a bit more scenes with Bucky. I mean, we don't get to see too much of Bucky on a personal level. Bucky's not really given too much depth this episode, the same way Sam Wilson, same way with Isaiah Bradley. But I feel like that scene with Isaiah Bradley kind of even strengthened the character Sam Wilson. Like, that scene made Sam Wilson like a better character to me. It sounds weird, but it was just such a great episode in terms of performances, but not too much Bucky. Like, we do see Bucky helping Sam. What I do love about Bucky this episode is you kind of forget, like, he almost feels like some parts in the episode, like when Bucky and Sam are training together and they're training each other with the shield, it almost feels like Bucky, like in your head, like maybe Bucky should have the shield. I mean, maybe Bucky should be the next Captain America. Like, not in that way, but obviously he's Cap's best friend, so you're kind of thinking like he almost feels like Captain America Bucky does, in a sense, like he's also passing that legacy down to Sam. So I loved how much focus it gave on Sam, just sort of really taking up that mantle and that legacy, continuing on that legacy, because as he said, the reason why Sam didn't want to become Captain America, because he knows the history and the complications with that shield. And I think Bucky, with all of the wars he went through with Cap, also kind of represents and symbolises that sort of chaos in that shield. Bucky's a part of it. And I think I've just said his name about 1,000 times. But as I say, guys, really strong, great episode. We also see GSP, Georges St. Pierre, comes back. He meets up with the Flag Smashers in New York. And I think the Flag Smashers are really getting to work. So there's a great scene there. He wants to kill the Falcon, is what he said in his French accent, which is pretty... I don't know where I'm going with that, but... yeah, it's cool to see GSP back. We saw him in the first episode. Good to see him back for the final couple episodes. The last episode. We also do see Sharon Carter. I can't even say her name. Excuse me, guys, the spawn kit's kicking in. But we see a scene with Sharon Carter, and she's on the phone to someone. I believe it's the power broker, but I don't know if they're going to reveal who it is. But hopefully they do. Hopefully in the finale that we'll get to see who the power broker is. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Those are just my quick thoughts on the episode. But as I say, really powerful episode. Great episode. Not my favourite, but definitely the strongest in terms of, just as I said, the themes that they did. The writing was just really top notch writing and performances. But the action scene, I mean, the first episode, the action scene is so badass though. But as I say, guys, please like, subscribe. Look forward to Jake Paul and Kelvin Gastelum, Robert Whittaker videos. I'm going to be reacting to those fights, so look forward to a bunch of fight videos coming up. And as I say, guys, peace.
Diaz gets up again here, but he looks hurt. Visibly limping here. Ooh.
It's okay. Use your defense.
Back and forth we go.
Stay strong. He can't break your will.
Covington, strike attempt there is blocked.
Hold your ground. I need you to go
He's
forward.
got a serious right punch, and he went to it effectively there.
It is his money shot, and he will continue to throw it until he finds a knockout. Actually got the takedown. Now he's chasing the triangle.
And this could be trouble here. Looks like it's pretty tight. He's trying to work his head out of harm's way.
It might be over. Oh! Now he falls back into the finishing position.
And there it is.